What's up, my fellow football fans? I want to talk about England, Denmark, the match that we're going to see tomorrow. This is a great opportunity for England, obviously, and I want to talk a little bit about England's chances tomorrow. Look, obviously England are the big favorites, and they should be for this game, right? I mean, they have fantastic players, and then they're in great form. I think the momentum is with England. Um, this looks like it's a side that can do something special. And I think especially that game against the Ukraine, coming on the back of the great win against Germany, I think it shows that this team is they really started believing in themselves. I think really that the key moment was that match against Germany. Obviously, it was a very close match, and England was able to score 2 goals at the very end. And it was just like a confidence boost, and especially for Harry Kane. I think for Harry Kane, because he's really, let's not forget, Harry Kane is England's number 9, England's captain, and really England's key player. And he just wasn't showing up. And I think though that second goal against Germany, I think that really boosted his confidence. We saw a different Harry Kane against the Ukraine. He led the line against the Ukraine. I wasn't really sure if he was going to show up for the European Championship, but he's here. And in England with a dangerous Harry Kane is a different kind of team. I mean, they're much more threatening. They were fantastic against the Ukraine. They looked fantastic. Also, we saw they have so much talent. We saw Jadon Sancho coming into the lineup against the Ukraine, and I really expect to see him start. I don't know if he will. I kind of have the feeling that he might not, but I would love to see Jadon Sancho play again, because he's just something special, and he brings in a different kind of energy and talent to England's attacking lineup. Also, Mason Mount has been fantastic. Well, he was fantastic against the Ukraine, not so much in the beginning of the tournament, but look, we all saw him play with Chelsea throughout the season, and he's always been fantastic for Chelsea, or almost always been fantastic for Chelsea. Key player in Chelsea's momentous season, winning the Champions League. I really like the let me just look. Let's look real quick. Sure, I'm going to share my screen here, and let's look real quick at England's lineup against the Ukraine. I think it's the best lineup that Southgate concocted so far in the tournament. I think that's the ideal English team. And I don't know if they're going to use the exact same lineup against Denmark, but I think they should. I think Southgate should go with the same players, because they've, or maybe at the very max, maybe make a couple of changes, maybe rest a couple of players that need rest. But I really think that if they're in good condition, in good physical condition, I think he should start these same players, because I mean, this is the ideal English team. I mean, Jordan Henderson came in for Calvin Phillips, I believe, or Rice at some point in the game. He scored a goal. I mean, he could be an important player for England as well. But I do like this partnership between Rice and Phillips. But really the key elements, I think, is that they're in great form. They have a lot more talent than Denmark. Sterling in great form. Harry Kane in the last 2 games was able to score 3 goals, and that's a key element to this England team. Also, they're going to play at home, which I think is a huge advantage. They're going to play in Wembley, so that's a huge advantage for England. Now, the only things that I see going against England are really the fact that so far Southgate hasn't been really able to settle on a starting 11, and I think that too many changes in a short tournament can be detrimental. I hope he stays with this lineup, because I think this is a very strong lineup. It's also a very good tactic for England. I think it benefits the kind of talent that they have, the kind of players that they have. This 4-5-1, I think it's perfect. And also this particular selection, I think, is very good. But so far he has, changed a lot of players. And I don't think that's very good. I think usually when you see in these short tournaments, especially teams that win are usually teams that have a stable lineup. So I hope he understands that. Also, and this is the big one, England tends to screw up in the big moments. So that's kind of like that's what always make people worried about England, especially Englishmen, right? So which I'm not obviously, but it's a thing. It's a thing. I mean, England in big moments tends to fold, but I think this is a good chance for them. I think they're going to win the championship this time around. Now for Denmark, they've been fantastic so far. They lost the first two games. They had the Christian Eriksen huge drama, huge problem, and me and I'm sure every football fan out there, we're really glad that Christian Eriksen is recovering, and actually Denmark has bounced back, and they're the feel-good story of the season so far. And they've actually been able to find a very strong team. Braithwaite, Damsgaard, and Dolberg. That's actually that trio has been working very well. Dolberg has come into the team, to replace Paulsen, who was unavailable, I think, for the third game or something like that. But in any case, the important thing is Dolberg has come into the team and he's really added another dimension to Denmark. He reminds me of the Dolberg who was playing for Ajax a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and he looked like he was going to be the next big thing. Dolberg, I think, is the big man, the big name to watch for Denmark, and he's going to bring in the goals potentially. But I think, look, I still think that England is going to be dominate. I still think that England should win, should dominate the game. But if there's threat coming in from Denmark, I think it will be Dolberg. I think he'll start again, most likely. Braithwaite can cause problems. Damsgaard has been excellent after coming in for Eriksen into this team. Mile has been very good in the left. They have a solid midfield with Delaney Højbjerg, good defenders, Kjaer, Christensen, very good goalkeeper, and Schmeichel. But look, the problem is England has a lot more talent. That's ultimately that's Denmark's biggest problem, is that even though they're a very good team and they're having a very good tournament so far, they have very good momentum. England is also confident. They also come from good results, from a run of good results. And they have a lot more talent. Ultimately, they're a much better team than Denmark individually. Now, the question is, can Denmark as a team, can they be close to England, close enough to England as a team to create an upset, to produce an upset? Because in football, and this is what we love about this beautiful game, anything can happen in 90 minutes. And Denmark has been really good so far. Another problem for Denmark, though, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, if you look behind me, Wembley, that's going to be a key part of the equation. England is going to play at home in England, I believe Wembley, and playing at home, I think, is going to provide a huge advantage for England as well, especially with all the English fans excited about this young team who's getting the results, who's playing well, who's beaten Germany, who's dominated the Ukraine. And I think the English fans are just going to be electric, and they're going to transmit all their optimism to the English team. So I expect to see a decisive win for England, but you never know. It's football. And I think most neutrals are actually going to be probably cheering for Denmark because they are the feel-good story of this tournament, and everybody's going to be watching them on TV, just like Christian Eriksen. And I think most neutrals are going to be supporting them. Also, because not a lot of people actually like England, if we're being honest here. But England, I mean, they have a fantastic team, and they should really get this done.